Hi Avish, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. You?
I'm fantastic. Okay, guys.
All good, Sid. All good, Sid.
Okay, great. We'll start off with South Africa and the West Indies because I know I wish you would want to start there, and I think you've also. All right, so you be starting with you, man. What are your thoughts on West Indies giving South Africa quite a bashing here by 7 wickets?
Well, when you showed it to me earlier, I was shocked. But Jay, look, they've got a really good T20 and one day side, so it's not. I shouldn't be surprised, but I was, yeah.
Okay, and you, Avish?
I shouldn't be surprised because I mean we were talking about this before the series even began.
Mm-hmm.
That SA are missing 5 frontline bowlers. There's no Rabada, there's no Nokia, there's no Shamsi, there's no Keshav, and I'm missing one more. Oh yes, Janssen as well. So
Yeah.
I mean. On the balance of that, I mean, if you look at the Windies side, a lot more experience there, Sid. I mean, you've got Puran, you've got Shema Joseph, Powell, Rothman Powell. I mean, even in the batting, Roston Chase,
Shea Hope,
and Romario Shepherd,
too many.
Romario Shepherd, Rutherford, and Akil Hussain, who's done so well for them, over the last couple of years. So no surprise, but as I said, it's all about looking at the positives, and I think the one positive for me was Stubbs. The way Stubbs batted in this game was superb. I think the stint at Delhi in the IPL is really helping him. I think he's one of the most improved players. I mean, you look at some of those hitting, some of those shots. I mean, towards the leg side. I mean, he middled them. He really middled them out of the ground. So he's got that power game, and he can add some finesse as well, where he can actually pace an innings. So that was a positive for me. I mean, obviously, SA were experimenting in this series. So I mean, a few debutants there. I mean, Mapaka, 18 years of age, the youngest to ever play a T20. He impressed with the ball. I thought he was good in his 4 overs. Unfortunately, I mean, 174 was never going to trouble this Windies batting lineup that bats so long. It was never going to, and especially with the bowling attack that we have.
Yeah, I agree with that. But at one stage, I really thought that when we were 5 for 42, as you can see here, we were probably going to be bowled out for maybe 100 the way we played, and that West Indies were going to have a real. It would have been a really joke of a game, but at least 174, I thought we would have competed. But as you said, our bowling attack is not up to the mark. So I think, but getting to the second T20 match, starting with you, Yuvi, you think SA is going to bounce back, or you think West Indies are probably going to win this 3-0?
I just have a question.
Sure.
Dearborn Brivers, is he playing?
Oh, Brivers.
They're actually playing today. No, he's not in the side.
That's sad.
Well, then I'm gonna say South Africa are kind of shooting themselves in the foot, but look, end of the day, this West Indies lineup, I agree with Avish completely. They've got too much experience. If SA going with a similar side, they're gonna get knocked again.
So you believe West Indies are gonna win the series 3-0 then?
No, I'm sure South Africa will pull one out somewhere along the line. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, you think West Indies will overall win the series, whether it's 3-0 or 2-1?
I think they will win the series. Well, it depends. I mean, South Africa, if they learn from the first match, they bring in some new players that are with a little bit more experience, maybe a bit more talent, then we've got a chance. Yeah. But I'm looking at the lineups you've showed me, and I'm not happy. I'm not gonna lie.
So you say West Indies with 2-1 then, and you, Avish, are you still hoping for SA to win this 2-1? They are playing today, actually.
Okay.
Look, you can't really ask too much of the sides. I mean, to be honest with you, there's a lot of, as I say, there's a lot of senior players that haven't made this trip, because I think SA are looking at this is a rebuild. This is a rebuild for the 2026 World Cup. So teams are already looking to rebuild, and SA are trying to obviously improve their depth. That is the main reason for a lot of these newbies in the side, which is a good thing. I mean, you got to look at these bilateral series as as opportunities where you can give youngsters an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think a lot of that middle order really needs to improve today, because I think a lot of them should have a look in the mirror after Friday's game, because there were a lot of soft dismissals there. I mean, we can go on and on about it. I mean, Rickleton was soft.
Yeah.
Markram, I think being captain, he needs to step from the front. He hasn't been in good form. We haven't seen in the World Cup as well. He wasn't in the best of form. But somehow SA got to the final somehow through his captaincy. But yeah, I mean, UV was talking about Brevis, and that's an interesting one, because I mean, Brevis was always tipped to be the next big thing in SA cricket, and especially T20 cricket. However, the opportunities that he did have, he didn't really take it. He didn't really grab them. And it was always between him and Stubbs, I feel, for that number 4 position. But it seems like Stubbs has overtaken him in that regards now, Sid. So I think personally, for Brevis to come back in the side, you've probably got to have a few players that's going to retire for him to obviously have a spot for him. But as long as Stubbs is there, I don't think Brevis is really going to, get into this team at the moment. Because I mean, think about who's missing from the batting lineup, Sid. I mean, De Kock, Klaassen, and Miller. I mean, that's firepower. That is firepower. I mean, you that is firepower that some of the best leagues in the world, pay money for. So, yeah, on the balance of it, I do think the Windies will win the series. But if SA lose the series 2-1, if they can win a game, I don't think it'll be such a bad thing, If they can actually pull out a game and win a game with this team that they do have, missing so many senior players, I think it'll be quite an achievement,
I gotta disagree on one thing.
Sure.
Disagree on one thing.
Okay.
You can play both Brevis and Stubbs. Brevis came in as a number 3 player, and he should be batting number 3. And if you've got a lot of your mainstays out, you obviously put your most exciting talent on show. And the most exciting talent in SA cricket is still Dewald Brevis.
Yeah, I also feel that he's got to. I agree with UV on this one, because you can't play both of them. And imagine if both of them click. Hey, that's like firecrackers.
I get your point. I get your point, Sid. But the thing is, Brevis has had his opportunities, in the past. If you think about the Australia series that he played, those T20s, but I do feel he's so young. He is still so young. There is a future for him in this team, no doubt about it. I mean, if he can go and if he can smash this SA20, and if he can smash this IPL and score a whole lot of runs, I mean, he's really going to be talked about again as a bright young talent. And as I said, we had big expectations for Brevis, but he obviously didn't, come to the fore. But there is a way back for him. Of course, there is a way back for him. Riza's form hasn't been the best, so I'm not sure what SA are looking to do up the order. But however, I do feel Riza does deserve his chance, because he's been one of the most consistent batters for us in T20 cricket. So it's a tough one, but I mean, Brevis is still young. He's still got opportunities. He's going to get his opportunity.
Yeah, I was just gonna looking at all the three T20s. They're playing at Taroba, so I guess that's the only consolation for South Africa. At least they know that they have a chance, because they're playing at the same ground 3 times. So they'll have to win somewhere. They have to start winning from today to make it exciting for the decider. So I don't know if you feel the same way. I guess that's the consolation, UV, that SA is playing at the same ground. At least they have an idea.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first one. What's the wicket like? Is there bounce? Is there pace?
I only watched the highlights. It seemed like a good wicket. So that's why I was so surprised when SA were 42 for 5. But I'm sure, Avish, you watched it from top to bottom. So what were your thoughts on the wicket at the beginning?
It's a good wicket, Sid. It's a good wicket. I mean, the Windies chased that score with 15 balls to spare. It's a really good wicket. I think the SA batsmen were. I think they were guilty of some very soft dismissals. So that's what they need to. Work on today and avoid that. Avoid from happening in the second T20. They need to brush up on that. There were too many soft dismissals, too many wickets that were gifted to the Windies on Friday.
Okay, we'll go next to the next segment here, which is England and Sri Lanka. And this is a pretty predictable result. I was happy the way England played. They were positive. I think they tried to make the best out of the, rainy weather in Manchester. But so what were your thoughts, Avish, on England beating Sri Lanka by 5 wickets? Predictable, right?
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, I was quite impressed with Sri Lanka in patches yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a game of it, eh? They did make a game of it. But, I spoke to you last night and I told you, the way England play, they're not going to wait for day 5 to get to knock off these runs. They want to knock it off on day 4. And that's exactly what happened. But I think Sri Lanka, there's quite a few positives yesterday. I mean, the bowling of, who's that opening bowler, man? Was it Mendes?
And
Fernando, yes. I mean, he was brilliant with the new balls in the first and second innings. And, obviously, Matthews coming back into the side, he got some runs. And I think there was essentially as well in that second innings. Can you just scroll up there?
Oh, you mean from the second innings or first innings?
No, for Sri Lanka.
You meaning the second innings?
Okay. Second innings.
Oh, yeah, no,
scroll up.
Okay.
Scroll up.
1 second. Oh, from Camino Mendes.
Yeah, that's the name I was looking for, Camino Mendes. So there were quite a few positives here from Sri Lanka, eh? Because I mean, a lot of pundits were talking about Sri Lanka coming here and getting, absolutely hammered. I don't think they got absolutely hammered. I think they really competed in this game. I think they really, really competed in this game. If you look at the way they batted it in that second innings and 326. Unfortunately, I think what let them down was the bowling.
Yeah.
They don't really have a lot of depth in their bowling. Apart from Fernando, and Jay Surya, the spinner. You obviously need bowlers that are going to, that can unlock a middle order, a top order as well. That can penetrate a top order, which they obviously don't have. But I think quite a few positives in this game for Sri Lanka as a whole, although they went down to a very strong England side. And England are strong at home. I mean, we've spoken about baseball and how positive they are at home. The only question is how effective is it overseas?
Yeah, but my only question for England is that they'll have to field a whole lot better going the second test because they did drop catches, and against a better team, for example, Australia, they probably would have been punished in areas. But anyway, that's my little crit on them. But yeah, England did deserve to win in a whole nutshell. Do you concur with all of that, Yuvi?
Yeah, I would say Sri Lanka, that's a pretty good performance. Personally, I would have expected England to kind of blow them away, but well done, I guess.
Yeah, okay. We'll go into the last fixture here, which is Pakistan and Bangladesh. And I know me and Avish were like having our own thoughts in this series. I was expecting Pakistan to have a chance to win a series, but it looks like the best they can do is probably draw a series. This is probably a very big low for Pakistan. What do you think, Avish?
Absolutely. I think one of the lowest points for Pakistan in Test cricket for a while. And they haven't been good in Test cricket for a while. But I mean, this performance, I mean, just looking at those numbers there, yeah, I mean, this was a very, very ordinary performance from Pakistan. With the ball and the way they batted in that second innings, I mean, getting skittled out for 146. I mean, this is an historic day for Bangladesh. This is an historic day for Bangladesh. This is the first time they've beaten Pakistan in a test match and away from home as well, which makes it even more impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, the one player that stands out here is Mushfiqur, 191. I mean, he deserved a double century. He batted beautifully. And then obviously that second innings, Mehdi Hassan, a 4 for 21, he bowled beautifully as well. But I mean, Pakistan looks shell-shocked to me. Hey, I mean, this is not a performance that they were actually, expecting. And I think the fans have gotten a bit. They've kind of lost their faith in this team. I think there's a lot of question marks regarding the side at the moment. And I mean, if your spearhead, Shaheen Afridi goes wicketless in a test match, I mean, you're looking for trouble. I mean, just imagine if Rabada goes wicketless in a test match. Just how much trouble would SA be in? So your spearhead is so important. And yeah, I mean, it's a very, very ordinary performance from Pakistan.
Yubi, do you concur with all of that?
Where the hell is Avish Maharaj?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's pace. That's extra pace.
Probably the fastest bowler in the world on current form.
I'll say him and Markwood.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But I mean, he's really quick, and he's definitely the most aggressive bowler in the world right now. He's got the line, he's got the length, he bowls the best bounces. So to me, this is Pakistan politics again. It's politics in the selection process, and it's stupid.
Yeah, but I thought he was injured. But if it is politics, then Pakistan only have themselves to blame, I guess. And but also another thing I wanted to bring out. I think me and Avish we were doing this on WhatsApp today. I think it's the Pakistan pitchers that are letting them down, because I think they need to be not just braver in mindset, but they need to be braver with their pitchers. Even if they lose some, they'll eventually win more because they're playing on good competitive pitches, even if they start playing on Australian type wickets, because I know they are big admirers of Australia, so they should maybe start preparing Australian type pitches. What do you think, Avish?
Remember something. You've got two bowlers bowling. You've got two guys that can bowl over 150 kmph. Why in the world are you setting docile pitches?
Good point. Yeah, you are so right, UV. I don't understand it either. What about you, Avish?
I concur with what UV is saying. I mean, you know what, Sid and UV, irrespective of whatever team Pakistan put out, they should be beating Bangladesh at home. Come on, guys. I mean, this is disastrous. I mean, they should be beating Bangladesh at home. Bangladesh won this game at a canter. I mean, 10 wickets. You cannot get more convincing than getting in a test match. I mean, whatever side Pakistan put out, they should be beating this Bangladesh side on paper. You know?
Unfortunately,
although I have to say, Mushfiqur Rahim, that's a player. That is a player.
Brilliant.
That is a player. Probably the best player Bangladesh have ever produced. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but unfortunately with docile pitches, the ball is going to start taking spin. And for some reason, the Asian team, they're just not playing spin well. Like even India is one of those teams that don't play well against spin, as witnessed in the Sri Lanka series. And I think Pakistan are falling under that situation. Hey, Avish.
Yeah, but I mean, that's another problem with Pakistan cricket. They don't have good spinners. They don't trust their fast bowlers. They don't have good spinners. I mean, they've been outplayed in this game. Completely outplayed. I mean, if you look at the innings, I mean, 448 for 6. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I thought that was a good total. I thought Pakistan are in control here. But I mean, the way Bangladesh batted, I mean, that was superb. And mind you, they battled to get those last 5 wickets off Bangladesh. They leaked a lot of runs in that innings. And if you look at Babar, the captain as well, I mean, he dropped a stinker. Let's be honest. He dropped a stinker off a game. So exactly, there's politics. I definitely think this team needs a new captain. They need to go in a different direction now.
The problem with Pakistan cricket is that even if someone can fix the problem, it's just too chaotic. I think a guy will go mental, man. He'll end up being in a mental asylum with all the chaos, man. What do you think, UV?
It's got to be someone from outside. It can't be a Pakistani. It's got to be someone from outside.
Yeah, well. Hey, UV, I wanted to leave. I know you told me off air you wanted to bash India and use swear words. So what did you want to say about India?
I didn't want to bash them. I said Shoaib Akhtar. But I will say one thing I'm happy about with Indian cricket. New bowling coach. It's about bloody time we got a fast bowler as a bowling coach.
Oh,
not a medium pacer. Not a medium pacer that they're calling a fast bowler, but an actual fast bowler.
You're referring to Morni Moko, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know Gambhir is using only loyalists to be in the team because they were part of the KKR. Oh well. I guess.
Well, Morni will do a good job. I got a feeling he's going to make an amazing impact.
I think Morni is the perfect guy, especially on the tour to Australia. I mean, he's going to do well. He's going to do well. He's really going to prepare these guys really well for that tour down under, which I mean, we can't wait. I mean, I can't wait for that series. That is the series.
Yeah.
Has
Okay.
there been team selection yet for that? Do you know?
Not
No,
that
not
I
as
know of.
yet.
It's
Not as
too
yet.
early. I
Yeah,
think it's a bit early though. I think it's a bit early for them to start doing
So
selection.
we could
yeah.
still get Mayank Yadav as part of that lineup.
I hope
Mayank
so. But
Yadav.
he's still young though.
He's still young, but he's got the gas. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for gas.
And I don't know if his body will survive 5 days there. He's more better with just to start off with T20, T20s, 50 overs, and then getting him into the test. I don't know. What do you think, Avish?
Yeah, no, I think when you go into Australia, you got to have all out pace, because if you look at the bowlers historically that have done well in Australia, Wasim Akram's, Waka Yunus, Dale Steyn. I mean, Steyn is a great example. I mean, we all know what he did to Australia in his prime. I mean, the last tour, Bumrah. Bumrah. I thought Siraj bowled really well on the last tour. But I mean, obviously the 2018-2019 tour was Bumrah. I mean, he had a fantastic tour there. And even if you look at the Windies, the last time that they toured there, they won at Brisbane. I mean, Shawar Joseph was bowling rockets. He was bowling rockets. So Australia is very different to, I'd say, England or SA in terms of conditions, where in SA, I mean, you're going to get movement off the wicket. You're going to get swing in England as well. But I think in Australia, you've got to bang that ball in. You've got to bang that ball at a length. You know, you got to let it go. You got to let it rip. And that's how you're going to get wickets in Australia. Yeah, that is how you're going to trouble this Australian batting lineup with pace, out and out pace. So I really do hope. I really do hope India fight fire with fire, because that's what they got to do in that series. You got to fight fire at fire when you're playing Australia.
Yeah,
Well,
but you seem still
I
have the.
watched.
Sorry. Oh, no, sorry.
I
You
watched
first, Yuvi.
I watched the recent performance of Umran Malik in their domestic, a 3-day tournament, and he's actually bowling rockets, but he's getting the Yorkers right. So
Nice.
I don't think he'll make it into this team, because there seems to be something against him. There seems to, I don't know. I think it's Ajit Agarkar. He doesn't like fast bowlers. It's that simple.
What?
And Ajit Agarkar. He does not. He's the head of the Indian selection committee. He does not like real pace. He does not like real pace.
That's
you know, you were talking about. Sorry, man. You know, you was talking about Pakistani politics. India have their own politics as well when it comes to team selection. Because Umran Malik, I think Umran Malik would make a good fast bowler in Test match cricket. Because in Test match cricket, let's be honest, the margin for error is a lot more. So you can let it rip.
Yeah.
In T20s, obviously you might get found out with the pace, but I mean with the red ball, I mean, wow, this guy could be a real prospect.
And his strength is exactly the same as Steyn. He's good with his bounces. He hits the Yorker.
I just want to say something, right? If India picked the same lineup that they picked in the previous tests, I mean, it's so easy these days with video analysis. I mean, the Australians can go and do their video analysis and have a look at those bowlers that they're going to be playing against, and they know exactly how to approach these bowlers. So if India can throw in a surprise or two there, I think that would catch Australians off guard.
Amen to that. But also,
I would make 3 of them. I would. If Yadav's available, I'd throw him in. I would love to see Umran Malik, and I would love to see Karthik. I would love to see 3 150+ bowlers in that team.
I'm sure they'll put them in the squad, because they do need a decent squad to bring to Australia, because there's no guarantees that whole squad is going to survive 5 blooming test matches. And I think it'll be the first time I think India ever playing a 5-test series in Australia. So I'm sure they'll be somewhere in the squad. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Australian conditions, I mean, we all know about the heat. I mean, the Australians, I mean, if they got in a roll, there's going to be a lot of overs bowled. So India do need a lot of they do need a lot of reserves in the tank, because you never know what can happen in Australia. You can break down. You can break down. But
I've lost faith in the Indian selections. I'm sorry. The selectors, I've lost faith in that committee. I'm sorry.
Come on, we don't give up on India, man. I'm sure your favorite Karthik
No,
will
I
be in
love
that
the
squad.
team. I love the team. I love the players. Just that selection committee. I give up with it.
But then who would you
I think
have in the
it's too
selection committee?
one-dimensional.
Oh, okay.
I think it's too
Interesting.
one-dimensional at times.
Okay.
It's a bit too one-dimensional.
Interesting.
The selection of the team. You know
I
what to
agree.
expect. I mean, who knows? Ashwin. I'm not sure if Ashwin is going to go on tour. He doesn't have the best of records away from home, eh?
I don't think he'll be in the squad, because of Jadeja. Jadeja normally takes in the overseas squad slot because he can bat and bowl.
If you want a spinner in Australia, you take Kuldeep Yadav. He turns the ball square.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
He turns the ball square.
Yeah. But India also had to bat well. There's no use only having the bowlers. I remember, what's that guy named Pujari? He really warmed those Australian brains up by being so, dodged. Although he didn't make many runs in the last tour, but the amount of ball he sucked up, he just tied those bowlers down. And now that he won't be in that squad, maybe Australia might fancy their chances. What do you think, Yuvi?
I'm not thinking we're going to miss Pujara that much. We've got some guys coming through the ranks that can do that job. They can do that job. I'm excited to see what happens at the top of the order. Do they have the sense to drop Rohit Sharma to number 3 or 4? And do they have the sense to go with Jaiswal and Gill to open? If they do that, we got good starts. If they do.
Oh, sorry, Avish. What did you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, look, Pujara has been he's been the catalyst in the last tours, eh? I mean, the way he's, as you said, he's been so dogged. I'm not sure if India has that kind of an anchor player in its side. We've got they've got a lot of stroke makers. I don't know. I'm not sure if they got that one guy that can just hold up and in, and everyone can bat around him. That's the kind of player. So I think there's still going to be a lot of responsibility on Kohli. I think Kohli's got to be that anchor as well, eh? And yeah, I mean, Gill and Jaiswal will be really exciting up the order. Yeah.
What's that guy that bowls part-time spin? He's a batsman. He bowls part-time spin. In the test matches.
Trying to remember now. Good question.
I would see him as a like-for-like replacement for Pujara. The name will come to me.
Okay. Any final words before we wrap up, guys?
I would say it's exciting times in world cricket. A lot of good things happening. I read an article recently. Can anyone catch India or Australia in this race? I believe there is a team that can, but they got to get their act together. And guess who that team is?
Be? England, maybe?
South Africa. We've got it. We've got a chance.
Okay, that would be nice. India-South Africa final. I like it. I think Avish would also be a fan of that. Oh, it looks like Avish is frozen. It's like...
Yeah, he's looking up at something.
Yeah, I think his screen froze. But okay, before Avish comes back, I wanted to know your thoughts, because me and Avish spoke about this at quite a length last week. What are your thoughts on Test cricket? Do you think Test cricket needs like a revamp, like have a Test cricket World Cup, or maybe have Test triangular series to make the game a bit more exciting, or are you okay with the current format?
I used to love those triangular series, to be honest with you. I would love to see that. Test cricket has become boring because too many teams have become very, how can I put it? They're very nervous about the way they select their teams. They're very nervous about the way they approach the matches. That's why Test cricket's become boring. You gotta do something to shake it up. Maybe a couple of overs, like in a one-dayer at the start, where you bring fielders in, limited fielders outside, something like that. Get the batsmen going after the bowlers, and see if that jugs it up a bit.
Yeah, I thought if you have Test Cricket World Cup, you could have all the teams playing against one another, even if you have mini matches happening on one day, and therefore, what's good about it, at least the team will get more experience just by playing the Test Cricket World Cup. But I guess it's kind of like a pipe dream at the moment.
It could work. I don't see why it couldn't work. It could be a very long tournament, but it could work.
I think it could be done quicker if you have like everyone playing matches on the same date. Fine, not all the matches will be telecast naturally because of TV rights. I think only 5 matches could be telecast where India's playing, Australia's playing, England's playing,
I think
Pakistan playing. Maybe
what
you could probably.
what about maybe instead of a 5-day test, a 3-day match?
Wouldn't work. 4 days could work, but for 3 days we'd need really pathetic pitches to make it happen.
True.
Also weather conditions would have to play a part. Although a nice country to host Test cricket would be South Africa actually, but then I just don't know how it will happen. But South Africa could be nice, India could be nice. England's weather would be a problem. Australia would be nice.
Australia would be nice. India definitely not in monsoon season.
Yeah. I think I'm just trying to see if maybe try and see if Avish is going to come back on because I think he might have had a network issue.
No.
Yeah. Shame. Okay, let's see. That's okay. All right. I think that's it's okay. I think we covered everything. It was great seeing you, Yuvi, and you too, Avish. All right. Take care, Yuvi.
Likewise, bro.